And what is up, everybody? We are back with the Magic and Andrew MMA betting show, episode 40, UFC 277. We've got the rematch, Nunes versus Pena for the 135-pound belt. We've got Magic joining us from God knows where. He's running from wild dogs and lions. What's up, Magic? We're kicking it to you for the first fight. As always, Blood Diamond versus Orion Kosei. Tell us about this banger.
Yeah, one of my most anticipated fights of the card. Honestly, Blood Diamond, great debut performance. He almost had the guy. But finally, he couldn't get it done. I mean, I parlayed Kosei, pretty big. I mean, not huge, but it's not my most confident or proud bet ever. But it's just has the feel that it's one of these that is going to hit. Like, what is going to stop Orion from just grapple fucking the guy or straight up killing him? Like, this guy is not very good. It is what it is. I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm with you. I bet Kosei as well. I mean, I don't know what Blood Diamond can do to stop the takedowns here. Kosei has a solid wrestling background. Blood Diamond seems pretty one-dimensional. He only has 4 pro fights, and I think he's like 34 or something like that. So I can't imagine him improving his wrestling much from the Wells fight to now. So it looks like we are in agreement on Kosei. Next up, we've got Ji Yeon Kim taking on Jocelyn Edwards. Edwards took a little money in the beginning, but it seems like it's coming back on Kim now. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, this is a pass. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. It's probably going to be a close fight, maybe a split. Probably a split. Like, I don't know what any fighter can do here to differentiate each other scoring wise. Like, Kim is a stupid durable, and Edwards is pretty durable herself. Can be controlled on the ground. I don't really know if Kim is going to go for the grappling. If she goes for body locks, which she has in her arsenal, she may dominate this fight. But I'm not sold on it. It's a pass. I think it's going to be a split. I'm going to pick Kim.
Yeah, this may surprise you. I actually bet Jocelyn Edwards here. I think she's going to have a big power advantage. She's like nothing Kim does can really keep Edwards off of her, I don't think. Even in the Cachoeira fight, like I bet Cachoeira against Kim, and she's a better technical boxer, but she just lacks the physicality and the strength to keep her opponents off of her. Edwards' last fight was at 145, so I think the market's a little bit low on her. Kim's coming up to 135 here, which is Edwards' normal weight class. I do think that the power is going to be too much here. So we will see. Thank you. I switched my camera this week. Dude, remember last week it was like super zoomed in?
Yeah, you don't look bald anymore.
Yeah, I look normal now. So we're back, baby.
It's like an urban legend that you are getting bald.
Yeah. Can you address this really quickly? I thought you only rode
It's
horses.
it, it it's not. I thought you were speaking about the urban legend that you are getting bald. Like, Andrew is not getting bald, guys. He just has a very weirdly shaped head, and when you look to him from the front, it looks like he's getting bald, but it's not true. Like, if he goes to the side, it's yeah, his hair is all right. Which was the question? I cannot see the chat. I have to change
Someone
things.
said magic in a car question mark. I thought he only rode horses.
Pass.
I kind of thought that too.
Like, like, you think in Spain you can just ride a horse in on the road? Like, you are
Yeah.
going to be driving like this and someone is going to go over you with a horse or something? I'm actually in my car because a dog is trying to kill me. I don't know where this fucking dog is. He has been trying to kill me all week. I did nothing to him.
Maybe he's friends with one of the fighters who you call it the
Brandon Moreno.
Yeah. Brandon Moreno sent his dogs all the way out there to try to get you. Oh man, this is probably your main event. The Transylvanian Pain Train, Nikolai Negumereanu is taking on Ihor Poteria. I know a lot of people get on me sometimes for pronunciations, but I think I did a pretty good job there. I could kick us off here. I bet on Nikolai earlier in the week at plus 135. I think a pick'em is about right here. Ihor should do well early, but I don't trust his cardio. I think Nikolai has the grappling upside and has fought the better competition. So I'm willing to take a shot on him at plus 135. This price I'd probably pass, but I am going to pick him here. Are you backing your guy, or are you hopping off the Transylvanian Pain train?
I have no action so far. Maybe when props open everywhere, because there are a lot of books that have not opened prop lines yet, I take some action. I'm not sure how this is going to look like. in some way, I feel like maybe he can, not maybe, but probably he can initiate grappling early and get some top time early, get some takedowns. Poteria has beat a lot of cans, but he's kind of legit in my opinion. Like he can fight, he can weather the storm, and then put some good hands on good hands on people. Right now I have nothing on the fight. I'm glad that the Transylvanian Pain Train nickname is getting traction. I have seen it a couple times already on Twitter. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, after that robbery in his last fight, I'm on the train now. He just makes things happen. It's just that simple. The Transylvanian Pain Train can't be stopped.
Yeah,
The last time the
he
last
has
time
that talent. Like he's real good.
Yeah, the last time we did this show, I was resisting, but now I'm just embracing it here. The Transylvanian
He,
Pain Train is the move.
he's on a three fight win streak. If he makes it 4, watch out. Jiri Prochaska, watch out.
Yeah, that'd be something. Rafa Garcia versus Drakkar Close. I'll start us off because I don't really have too much of an opinion here. I think 2-1's probably right for Close. He's a little bit better, but I don't like how hittable he is. Gives his back to stand up. But I do think he's just a little bit better than Garcia. I'm curious if you have anything on this one.
I think it's probably going to be a close fight. I think it's going to go the distance. Garcia, when he finishes people, it's usually a submission. I don't think he's going to submit Close. He can probably grapple him a little bit, but I'm not sure if he can get keep him down, get quality top time, etc., etc. Close or Close, whatever his name is, however it is pronounced, no disrespect,
Close.
is notoriously stupid like his wife. Like he has no game plan ever. It's wild. The guy spends every fight week saying, "Oh yeah, I have some new things in my arsenal, my game plan, this and that. I improved my IQ," and then he goes out and just brawls, like brawls. That's all he does. I think it's a close fight that goes 3, and I took some Garcia by decision plus 400. Like why not? I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Cool. Yeah. Sticking with you on this next one, Michael Morales is the biggest favorite on the card, taking on short notice opponent Adam Fugitt. Do you have anything on this one? I know you're pretty high on Morales, and you have been since the Contender Series.
Yeah, Morales is my boy. I really like him. Great prospect in my opinion, but this fight is unplayable. I mean, unless you like the dog, it is unplayable. Morales inside the distance has opened like minus 200 in a lot of places. That's untouchable. Like his knockout is not even plus money. It's like minus 135. This Fugitt guy, I was familiar with him. We talked about this. Like he beat Solomon Renfro in his last fight very fast, in like inside a minute. I watched that live. That was impressive. Very very big upset at the time. But he's not really a striker. Like he has a little bit of power, but his thing is grappling, getting top time. Morales has very good wrestling. He's extremely athletic, and he looks on all the juice now. Like he was athletic before, but if you look at his Instagram, he looks insane. I don't know. I have no idea what's happening in Mexico. Like it's wild how he looks. He has put on some quality muscle. I think it's going to kill this guy, but yeah, I don't see an angle to play it.
Yeah, he's going through puberty still. He's a young guy.
He looks insane. Remember, I told you to look at his Instagram. There's one pic that he looks. I mean, you could see the guy in his previous UFC fights. He's athletic, tall, lean, this and that, but he's not really a muscle guy. Like he's not very defined. You know what I mean? Like, and now you go to his Instagram and he looks like a bodybuilder in a couple of pics. It's insane.
Yeah, he's jacked. I do think he should roll here. I'm curious to see how he does when he gets a step up. I actually don't mind if they move him along a little slowly because he is young, and I do think he's probably going to keep improving. I was this close to betting him in the Giles fight, and I ended up passing. I was like, if I get plus 100, I'll do it.
I told you, bro. Inside the distance, easy money. Officer Giles was a dead man walking.
Yeah, that was tough because I was like, if he gets to plus 100, I'll do it. And then the most he got was like minus 102, and I was like, all right, I'm going to stay disciplined.
There was like a hairy moment, and I was like, oh, here we go. And then he got up and fucking mulked the guy. that was good to watch.
Yeah, that was like one of those classic spots where I think Morales was the favorite, and everyone was like betting the dog, and it got to like even money or maybe even past that, and then Morales just ended up beating him up. Guys, 102 live viewers right now. Like this video, please subscribe. We really appreciate it. In the meantime, next up, Dontel Mace versus Hamdi. Oh man, this is a tough week for me in terms of pronunciation. Abdelwahab, Abdelwahab. I think that's pretty good. I could kick us off here. I think Hamdi is not UFC caliber. I bet Mace when he was minus 136. I think the minus 200 price is probably more accurate. I know Mace doesn't have great wrestling, but he should have the better striking, better cardio, fought better level of competition. Hamdi has only had a few pro fights, and I mean, I think his last fight was against a guy who was 0-0 or 0-1 or something like that, but I'm not super high on him. He has a Greco wrestling background in Egypt, which for those who don't follow wrestling super closely, Egypt's not exactly known for its wrestling. I think this is too much too soon. I think Mace is going to win this fight, and I'm curious to hear what you think.
I mean, maybe you are underestimating Egyptian grappling teams, bro. Don't you know that Ali Abdelaziz went to the Olympics representing Egypt in judo?
That's ridiculous.
It's false. Don't you know that story? I can't believe it.
Yeah,
like the guy goes around saying he went to the Olympics in 1996, I think, saying he represented Egypt in judo, and judo didn't send a team to that Olympics in judo. Yeah. He's so stupid, man. Yeah, this fight, like, I tape it very late. Ooh, I'm getting Instagram notifications. I tape it very late, but I had seen people talking about betting Mace this, Mace that. What I saw, I was expecting, but I knew I was going to be late to the line, but I didn't really care because I'm not running to play Don't Tail Mace in the UFC. You know what I mean? And his inside the distance line was going to be closely lined with his money line. I expected that. It's like plus 120. Like, I didn't care. I knew I was going to be late, and I knew I wasn't going to bet him. But yeah, if you get him at like minus 125, great bet. Minus 110. That minus 110, I don't know if it is even holding. I think it's an error, but a lot of people are going to track it. Great tracking opportunity. Like, don't tell Mace 5 times. It shows minus 110. So go ahead, 15 units. Don't tell Mace minus 110. You got to stack that bet MMA record, guys. Yeah, he's probably going to win. Like, this other guy, maybe in 5 years he has some. You know what I mean? He looks like he can improve in MMA a little bit, but right now Mace should just really take 2 rounds, worst case scenario. If he loses this fight, it's a real bad look, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would be terrible. I mean, like, all the guy has is even the guy's top game doesn't look good at all. Like, I feel like even if he gets some takedowns early, Mace is going to get back up. Like, it seems like his top game is pretty much nothing. So this is a very interesting sign.
You know what's going. You know what's going to happen now, right?
What?
And Mace is going to get mounted in like 45 seconds.
That's all part of the game plan. Get mounted, reverse, mounted again.
Out of war, baby. Deception.
Yeah, out of war. This guy reminds me of the guy who Menafield just fought. Like
Morozov? Askar Morozov? I think, like, every week his record gets worse, you know? I think somebody was dropping news tonight, I think, on his record. Like, in the end, he's going to be like 0-17.
Yeah.
I think he never won a fight, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, I watched his fights and he won. He was literally fighting a civilian now. Like, the guy, like, I actually felt bad for the guy. He beat him in like less than a minute, but he genuinely looked like he'd never been in a fight before. I felt bad. So this is
yeah, the tape is rough.
Yeah.
It's the kind of tape I want. I like that tape, like classic. You see a guy that is like 11-0 and you go watch it and it's some prisoner of war that has not eaten in 2 months fighting the guy.
Yeah, that's seriously what it seemed like. So we'll see what happens there. Alex Morono versus Matthew Semelsberger. Matthew Semelsberger minus 160. Alex Morono plus 140. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Like, Semelsberger is a guy that I'm not overly high on him because I think he's not a one-trick pony, but kind of a one-trick pony in the sense that he needs to get his striking going, and that's it. If he cannot get it done, he's not going to beat you. And if you can wrestle dominantly, you are going to beat him. The last fight, a lot of people played AJ Fletcher. I can't even remember if I played him. I think I took some submission or something. That was gross. It was a great play, AJ Fletcher, so shout out to everyone that played him. That was unlucky. I think this is a very good fight for Semelsberger. Like, Morono he's a gamer. I really respect the guy because he looks like a fucking nerd. He's probably the worst athlete in the UFC and he wins a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Like his athleticism is a joke. No disrespect. Like I admire the guy. Like really, I'm not trying to trash him. He's a gamer. Like he's a gangster. If he had the body of Usman, this guy would be 3-weight division champion. But this fight is a bad fight for him. I think I don't think he's going to be able to wrestle Semelsberger. This fucking dog is trying to kill me. And Semelsberger is longer, bigger, faster, and has a big punch. I think he's going to catch Morono, who is very liable to be hit very hard a lot of the time. I like Semelsberger inside the distance around plus 220. I think that's a solid bet. I expect it to play out on the feet, and I think Semelsberger is going to lead him up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've been on the fence about playing Semelsberger, but I think I'm probably going to end up doing it. He's bigger. He's more athletic. I think this is primarily going to be a striking fight. I like Semelsberger. He's the power upside. I think it's just a little bit better on the feet. Better, bigger.
He's bigger.
Yeah, it's a big size difference. I tweeted. Go ahead.
I think he has a. I'm not sure if I'm right, but I suspect he has a big speed advantage. When they start striking, we'll see, but I think he's much faster.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on the level of competition for Semelsberger being my concern. Like AJ Fletcher, I'm pretty sure that was his UFC debut. Like I tweeted something like before that fight saying how Matt Semelsberger's level of competition has been like some of the worst I've ever seen. Like Jason Witt, Carlton Minus, Martin Sano, Chaos Williams, like those were his four fights.
Martin Sano, legendary fight, bro. Like he fainted him once and his hands went to the fucking floor. That was insane. That was the most open right hand I can remember in the UFC.
Yeah, that was brutal. But yeah, I mean, this is a decent step up for him, I think, compared to the rest of those fights. I guess Chaos Williams, but he lost that fight. So that's my concern on the Semelsberger side. But I do think he's going to be too big and too athletic for Morono. Next up, this fight should be a fun one. This is one of the only fights you and I talked about so far for this week. Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves. I think you're liking the Dober side here. Why don't you tell the people what you're on?
Yeah, Dober is like stupid durable. As I usually say, he's one of these guys that you can hit him in the head with a fire extinguisher and nothing happens. He just stays there. McKinney hit him with everything. Like I'm not sure he even like McKinney was dumb. He was like, he's not going out. I guess I will just quit because I'm losing my time here. I could be watching TV or something. The guy is ridiculously difficult to finish if you don't submit him. So, and Alves, he's getting some action. The line is going down. I think people playing Alves are banking on takedowns and control, and he's a dangerous submission grappler, but he's a fucking quitter too. Like his UFC run has looked much better than I expected and than everyone expected, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's the facts. If you make him tired, like Khabib said, I make him tired, make him quit. And Dober is going to still be there. Like if he doesn't guillotine Dober or something, Dober is going to be on his side. So I like Dober a lot here. I think inside the distance plus 135 range is a very good bet. I told you Dober by submission is an insane price. I took some plus 1800. I'm trying to take more. We will talk about this later. And Dober rounds 2 and round 3. Like why not? Yeah, doesn't go look solid. It's minus 200, but I really don't see how it goes 3. If Alves doesn't finish him early, Dober is going to be on his ass. For it to go the distance, it would be Alves on top of him for 3 rounds, and I don't think he can do that. Like Dober obviously has some issues grappling the elite, but if you look at the people that have grapple fuck Dober, it's the elite of the elite, like Vinil Dariush, Islam Makhachev. Come on, Makhachev can grapple a fucking horse. Like, it's insane. And it wasn't that easy. You know what I mean? You have to work to get Dober down. So yeah, I really like him here. I think he's going to roll after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was actually that lines up pretty well with what I'm going to say. I actually like a live bet on Dober here after a round. I think Alves is going to be dangerous early. I don't love Dober's grappling, but I think his first level of takedown defense is pretty solid. Don't love his jiu-jitsu, but Alves, outside of a guillotine, I feel like he's probably not going to get a ton of top time here. So I do think a Dober round 2, round 3 finish is probably pretty likely. It's weird because Alves fights in burst, so he could do nothing and kind of still have some gas left for the second and third round, or he can let it out early. I think Dober's going to make him exert that energy.
Yeah, that's my point. Dober is the kind of guy that if you don't force action, he's going to be in your face and force you to work. This is a real bad fight for Alves if he doesn't finish early.
Yeah, so
but yeah, he's explosive and he's dangerous early. It is what it is. He's the classic Brazilian rider.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Pickett's Dober on my end as well. Next up, this is a fun fight in the flyweight division. Alex Perez taking on Alexander Pantoja. Pantoja has taken a ton of money throughout the week. It looks like he was minus 145 early in the week, all the way down to minus 190. Do you agree with that line movement, or are you on the Perez side?
I hate this fight. Pantoja and Perez are both my boys in the division. They are my favorite fighters. I really like Davison too, but these two are like my favorite fighters.
Dude?
I mean, but Steve is all the divisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the mortals. Steve is up there in the Mount Olympus with Alex the Great, Amir Khani, all those people. He's getting up there. If he gets the belt, man, it's going to be big in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Adesanya, move aside. Yeah, this fight, I hate it. And Perez is a really good fighter. Like, I think he never gets the credit he deserves. And a lot of people, not a lot, but a huge amount of people were on Perez against Davison. And it was kind of funny because the outcome was this type of outcome where people go, oh, we didn't learn anything. He would have cooked Davison. He already got takedowns, this and that. I mean, maybe he's super solid, great wrestler. He's dangerous on the feet. He has power, good leg kicks. He's dominant on top. He has a very good front choke series. I really like his front choke series. He's aggressive with it. And he's fucking massive for the division. Like, the guy is huge. But I just feel Pantoja is a very awkward matchup for him because he has a great guard. He's dangerous. He gets into exchanges. And he he has the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the division. Like, he's fucking clean. I really enjoy watching Pantoja grapple. I think at some point Pantoja produces a finish here. Like, if Perez wins, it's going to be him grinding Pantoja and getting top time. But over 15 minutes, I think Pantoja is going to find his chin. If Perez has a weakness as a fighter, I think it's his chin. He has only been knocked out one time, but I think he has kind of a shaky chin, and Pantoja has a very good chin. So, yeah, he can gamble here. And maybe I'm wrong, and he grinds him out. I will be happy for Perez, but I think my boy Pantoja is going to get it done. Submission is a very good line.
What is it?
Plus 400, plus 450. Perez has been stopped in 5 of 6 losses, and 4 have been submissions. And Pantoja, if Pantoja gets you rocked, it's like you better tap already because he's getting your neck.
Yeah, I definitely think the finishing upside is probably Pantoja. I do think Perez is going to win minutes here, though, and I do trust his cardio more. My main concern on the Perez side is he's coming off like a 2-year layoff, and at lighter divisions, that always scares me a bit. That being said,
the cut is big. Like, the cut is big, and it's 2 years. It's not like a middleweight cutting down. It's a much bigger percentage of your body weight, and he's not young.
Yep. Pretty much nailed exactly what I was going to say. But I do think skill for skill, Perez is a little bit better, and I think his cardio is good too. I think the leg kicks will be there, and I feel like Perez wins round 3 at a pretty high clip as well. So I think there's value on Perez. I haven't bet it yet because it seems like the line keeps going up. Not going to be a huge play, but I definitely do think this should be closer to a pick 'em. I'm curious where it'll close on fight night. Next up, wow, you got a lot of your boys fighting on this card. Anthony Smith is a plus 400 underdog to Magomed Ankalaev. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I'm fucking embarrassed in myself that I played the Smith props. Like, I'm ashamed. I tweeted this before. Dishonor for me, dishonor for my family, dishonor for my cow. I'm ashamed. But what are these lines? Like, if Smith wins, it's a finish. And if he somehow gets on the back of Ankalaev, it's going to be trouble. Ankalaev may just be the best light heavyweight in the world, but he fights like a pussy, bro. Like, you cannot be this good and fight like that. Push the action and fight, or at least fight intelligent. Like the Thiago Santos fight. Why are you not grappling Thiago Santos? Like, Teixeira was mopping the floor with him. He has nothing on bottom, and this guy was playing with fire. Like, he won, but okay, he got caught. That was kind of I don't know, not a very good look. He went down hard on a not that big punch, and he already got caught by Paul Craig with a triangle. Smith has kind of a tricky guard. I don't think he's going to submit him from bottom, but yeah, Smith is a guy that is tall and long, and he's very fast. I think he can give Ankalaev trouble if Ankalaev doesn't grapple offensively like from the get-go. So yeah, why not? I'm putting myself in a win-win position. Like if Smith wins inside the distance, okay, he's probably the fighter I dislike most after Namajunas and Cerrone all time. He's probably third. If he wins, maybe second, but I will make money. But yeah, I hope Ankalaev elbows his head into China.
Can you see the comments if I put it on the screen?
Yeah, I can. I just realized I can silence the microphone, silence the camera, not silence the camera, but quit the camera, and I can see the chat.
We got a Anthony Smith should be the favorite take. I don't know about that one.
Peter F. Yeah, fight expert Peter F.
I definitely think Ankalaev is the better fighter here. I think. I mean, am I wrong in saying Ankalaev should be pretty good, pretty big compared to Smith?
I don't know. Smith is kind of a big guy.
Is he?
Like he's tall, you know. Next to Glover, he didn't look small. And Glover is a big guy. Like he's not the tallest, but he's solid. He's like a tank. Yeah, so I don't know. I think they are similar in size, but I hear you. I know what you are saying. Like Smith is taller, but the back and the shoulders. Ankalaev is the bigger man, but I don't think the size difference is that much. This guy was killing himself to make middleweight.
Yeah. Either way, I do think Ankalaev is more skilled. I think he has a wrestling upside, so I do think he's a justified favorite. I'm not interested in laying it. I know some people who are like super high on Ankalaev as a fighter, and he's good, but I think like
I am.
What?
I am super high on him. I think he has the potential to be the best in the world. I'm playing the value because what are these lines? If Smith wins, it's going to be a submission. It's like plus 1400. Inside the distance, plus 750. I mean, you have to take some. We are betting numbers. Somebody is going to go on Twitter, oh, Magic picked Smith and he lost 30-25. Okay, could happen. But if he wins, you know what I mean? You are betting numbers.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just think in general, 205 is a little bit weak of a division. Like, I don't think Ankalaev is as great of a fighter as everyone thinks. I just think he's getting some favorable matchups. Like, if you look at the top of the division right now, like, Jiri can't defend a takedown. Like, I don't know. I think 205 is a pretty weak division, honestly.
I think Ankalaev, like, murders Prochaska.
He probably does.
What is going to stop him from getting on top? Like, even on the feet. Like, Ankalaev is a really good striker. Like he's measured, you know what I mean? Like what I'm saying is, you are that good, people want finishes. Like his last fight and the previous one, just push the pace, put it on people. I don't know what's the issue. Maybe he has cardio issues and we don't know, and he doesn't want to force it or whatever. Or he just wants to play it safe after the Paul Craig thing. That was crazy. But yeah, he's the goods. Like you get a guy that is big, I mean, at least average size. He's not small for the division. He's very strong. He has the wrestling background. He's very good everywhere. You can argue he's an 8.5 everywhere, a 9 everywhere. He has some pop. He's not the biggest hitter, but he's super fast, super precise. He can counter. Like he has it all. He could really become the champion and make 4 or 5 defenses. Maybe he doesn't and now loses 2 in a row and gets cut. It's the UFC. You never know. But this guy looks the part.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I do think he beats Anthony Smith. So I'm curious to see what happens next. Next up, sorry, go ahead. You got anything else?
Yeah, Ankalaev is the favorite, and he should be the favorite. Just to clarify.
Yeah, no, 100%. Sergey Pavlovich taking on Derek Lewis in the heavyweight division. A ton of money has come in on Pavlovich. He opened as the underdog, was sitting about plus 115, plus 105 for a while. Now all the way down to minus 130, minus 140. Do you agree with this line movement, or are you riding with the Black Beast?
Narrative nation here. Like, if this goes past 1 round, like, I mean, let's start in. Forget about that. Let's start in another place. How do you think this fight is going to look?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, there's nobody else here, Andrew.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were like if you were talking like rhetorically or not, but I kind of.
Sorry.
I think this will look like an awkward fight. Like I feel like people are just kind of scared to engage with Derek Lewis. So I think if Pavlovich kind of goes nuts early, he might get caught. He might catch Lewis too. I thought last fight was a little bit concerning for Lewis. Lewis in his prime, I don't feel like goes out from those punches Tuivasa. Like, I don't think he quit like some people did, but I did think it was a little bit of a bad look. Pavlovich, I feel like, has had a fortunate strength of schedule too. Like, all of his finishes are round one against guys who really I don't think are that good. I could only play Lewis in this fight. Like, I was gonna pass when I taped this when he was like minus 130. Now he's out to plus 120. If it keeps going in the other direction, I'm probably gonna play him. I think like Lewis has never, like, people can say what they want, but Derek Lewis has never lost a decision. So I think
that's my point.
Yeah, I think the later this fight goes, the better it is for him. And I actually like the over 1.5 a little bit too. I bet it in the Tuivasa fight, and I was so mad because the pace was perfect for the over 1.5. Then he got clipped with like a minute before that. So I think the sides here are Lewis and the over, but it's not a super passionate take. I'm curious if you have any little bit more.
This is great take. Gombas is on point tonight. Yeah, like
if you were gonna do a podcast from the car, I had to bring my A game.
I mean, if this isn't like a 2-minute brawl, which I don't expect it to be, because everybody that fights Derek Lewis is fucking terrified, except Tuivasa, but Tuivasa doesn't have a brain. Like, you are supposed to be terrified. Okay? This Pavlovich guy, everybody is acting this week like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. I don't get it. He looks like a power kickboxer, and he obviously is on roids and has some power, but no grappling upside at all. He has beat some very bad people, and his ground game looks atrocious. Like, the Overeem took him down, and that was the fight. He had nothing from his back. All he could do was cover his face. If Lewis gets on top of him, it's going to be a murder. I hope that doesn't happen. Lewis by decision plus 900, like, ship it. If this is a staring contest with just some big moments, you know what I mean, which I expect it to be, Lewis is 4-0 in decisions, in fights that have gone to decision. Like, he's unbeaten on the scorecards, which is very funny. Yeah. And if you think this fight is in Texas, which is notoriously known lately among the betting community for horrible scoring, like the scoring is a joke, Derek Lewis is from Texas, and if you think a Russian is going to win a decision against Derek Lewis in Texas, you are insane. Like, go to the hospital. Derek Lewis by decision plus 900, ship it. You have to take it.
I love that.
If it's a fucking brawl and somebody dies in 2 minutes, okay, so be it. You have to take it, I feel.
Yeah, my only thing is I feel like if it does go later in the fight, I don't know if Pavlovich will still be there late in the second and the third round. You know what I mean? Like, he might walk out.
Lewis starts having a stroke after 7 minutes. And they are going to be just like poofing in front of each other, and every 2 minutes Lewis is going to jump a scissor kick or something and win 2 rounds because it's Texas, you know, like the Ngannou fight.
Yeah, I was at the when Lewis fought Ivanov. That was the one at MSG, and every like so often Lewis would he would use his just get up strategy, and he would he would throw some huge punch, and like the crowd would go nuts. It was the funniest thing ever.
It's insane, bro. He's the original black belt in just get up jitsu. Like, it's insane. I don't know how he does it, because people go like, oh yeah, he's very big and he gets up. It doesn't work like that. And the guy is just there laying, like, usually in side control. the other guy is in side control, and he's just like, all right, I'm gonna get up, and he gets up. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know how he does it, but he does it against everyone and every fucking time. The guy's a legend. I think there is a lot of quit in Derek Lewis, but the guy's a legend. Yeah, at the same time.
It's kind of crazy he's gone as far as he has with like the skill set he has. A lot of it's just,
I mean, the power he has is like a cheat code, you know, like it's insane even for heavyweight, and the guy is massive. Like, he's real massive. So yeah, but yeah, it's you can see he doesn't even like the sport. Like, I doubt he even trains. Like, he probably barely trains.
Yeah,
he's a funny guy.
Do you remember he said he used to train for like 30 minutes a day or something, and then he said he like
he fought DC for the belt, and he was like, yeah, now we are training for a full hour. And they were like running upstairs, and the guy was like, holy shit, I'm going to die. And he's fighting for the UFC heavyweight belt, man. That's insane.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Speaking of fun ones, we have the 125-pound interim title bout. Brandon Moreno taking on Steve Carafrance. I feel like I have to let you start this one off. Steve Carafrance is your guy. Brandon Moreno, number one enemy.
Yeah,
what are we thinking for this one?
Steve needs to win this. Like, for the people and for me. I took some Moreno inside the distance and by submission to cover myself. Like, I have to put myself in a win-win situation here, okay? Amir Khan got beat up the other day. I cannot take two in a row. Steve is my boy. I really kind of not hate him, but I was like, this guy is such a fraud. And then he kept winning and he won me over. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
a hate love story. He's like the Cinderella man. I hope he wins this. Like, I want him to win this bad. He looks like a nice guy. And Adesanya is a pussy. He needs to be the new star from New Zealand. Who would you rather watch fight, Adesanya or Steve? I mean, it's Steve, hands down. Adesanya is so fucking boring. It's like Arturo Gatti or Mayweather. You know what I mean? Yeah, Mayweather is very good, but the people wanted to watch Arturo Gatti. His MMA is Arturo Gatti. The fight, I mean, I played doesn't go big. I don't see this going 5 rounds at all. I think I think this is not going to be a controversial take, but I can see a lot of people on the over too. You know what I mean? But I have a difficult time seeing the fight go 5. I think Steve is going to be on his face all night, and Moreno, I'm not really sure what he's going to do, but he's stupid durable. He's longer. He has an insane durability edge here. Like, he's so durable, it's ridiculous. Davison hit him with bombs, and the grappling edge for Moreno is gross. The Askarov fight, I bet Askarov by submission, and that was a very awkward fight. Like,
Yeah.
I to this day, I'm not sure about the dynamics of that fight. Like, if we watch it again, I don't know if it looks the same, or maybe Askarov just soups him in 1 round. And because when he was on his back, if Askarov finishes the fight, everybody would have been like, oh, Askarov submission, easy money. You know what I mean? And then it was like, oh, Steve is the side clearly. So I don't know if that happens 10 times. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. But Moreno should have a huge grappling edge, and he's much more durable. I bet Moreno the first time he won, he was like a big dog. I think he was like plus 160. Not a big dog, but
Really?
something like that. I remember betting him. Yeah, and 5 rounds favors Moreno, in my opinion. But I really don't know, because Steve usually later he's getting stronger and stronger in the later rounds. Like, he's getting so good. He may be the best flyweight in the world, and we don't know it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Moreno is going to submit him late. But yeah, I played doesn't go. Honestly, I hope Steve wins by knockout. Fuck my bet. I want him to win by knockout, but business is business. I think Moreno is going to submit the guy. But the dream doesn't end here. Just a setback. Steve versus, if he wins, man, Steve versus Davison, I'm going to lose my mind. I want to go watch that live.
You gotta.
That's the best fight ever.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be sanctioned. How is Steve fighting Davison Figueiredo in the UFC?
Yeah, that would be ugly. I don't know, man. I keep counting out Steve, but he keeps winning. I was on Askarov against him, and I was honestly shocked. Like, I really thought Askarov was going to make easy work of him, but I am picking Moreno here. I think Moreno's probably made the bigger improvements from their first fight. He didn't even really grapple much in that first fight, and he still won, I thought, clearly. He's bigger. He has the 5-round experience. He's fought at a very high level of competition lately. I think 5 rounds favors him, so I'm picking Moreno. I don't know if I'm going to lay the price or not. I was kind of hoping some Steve money came in, and it looked like it was for a little while, but it seems like it's kind of going back the other way. Moreno. I'm prize picks. I bet over 1 takedown for Moreno. I think he's going to grapple here over 5 rounds. I think he'll get a couple takedowns.
He changed teams. He changed gyms. He's a traitor. I knew he was fake from day one. I really dislike the guy. I don't get why everyone likes him. Like, even in Spain, because maybe it's because he speaks Spanish and all that, but people really like him. What is to be liked about Brandon Moreno? He's ugly. He sounds like a moron. This is because you don't speak Spanish, but if you have watched the guy commentate, I have had to suffer this guy on the mic for years. It's torture. Like, he's literally retarded. No disrespect, bro. It's
Yeah.
insane. Like, I don't get why people like him so much. I think he's very, very fake, and I just don't stand fake people. So I hope he gets knocked out cold.
Okay.
But yeah, it's nothing personal.
Yeah. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, we've got the rematch. Juliana Pena taking on Amanda Nunes. I was had the privilege of being there in the arena for their first fight back in December of last year. Juliana Pena shocked the world, finished Amanda Nunes in the second round. And I am picking her to do it again here. I think she proved that if she can last the first 7 minutes with Nunes, she's more than live to win the fight. I don't think Amanda could justify 3-1 without an early finish. There's a lot of narratives. Oh, Amanda wasn't taking her seriously. I don't look too much into that. I think Pena probably has a stronger mental game than Nunes. I don't really talk about that very often, the mental side of things. I think often it's kind of overrated. But Nunes just seems like she wilts at adversity. Nothing against her. Obviously, she's an all-time great. But I don't like that she left ATT to start her own gym. I mean, Pena won the first fight pretty handedly. I was looking to live bet Pena after a round, and I think she was the favorite or even money by the time that second round started. So I'm on Nunes. I bet her plus 250. Or excuse me, I'm on Pena. I bet her plus 250. I think she's going to get it done again. And I think Nunes maybe retires in the octagon after. So
Smith fight?
Betting Nunes. And thank you to the Espita family. Viva Mexico.
I think she retires mid-fight.
Yeah, maybe.
I saw a pic of Nunes before, and she's on human growth hormone. Like I don't want to be sued or whatever, but her head is bigger now. Like I would like her and her doctor to explain this to me because my cranium doesn't get bigger anymore. I grew until the normal size and then I stopped. It doesn't get bigger in your 30s. Yeah, to be honest, I don't want to sound arrogant, but my breakdown on this fight is the same one I did the first time. I think Jack was here, Jack Ma. Yeah, I think that was a perfect breakdown, honestly. And I have Pena round props 4 and 5, and honestly, I thought it was just sharp. But Nunes quit. Like I was like, what? Yeah, we are on course to hitting everything, and then she just quit. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was looking like a late round 3. What the fuck? Late round 3 or round 4 finish, and she just quit. She quit to. I mean, there was no choke there. She was across the face, no hooks in, no leverage. She was just holding her, and she quit. She tapped. That was the worst tap in the history of the UFC, since the UFC is a serious organization. There was no choke. Shouldn't even be graded as a submission. On her record, it should be she quit.
Retired.
Yeah, she tapped. She tapped to nothing. Like she tapped. She won't no mass. On the record, it should be like no mass. It was embarrassing. Like, and people were. I said he quit on Twitter. And nobody was telling me she quit. This is so bad because they killed my boy Max Roscoff for quitting in the corner. Like people ended his life. The guy has to delete social media. He was getting harassed and everything. But because Nunes is a woman, you cannot say she quit. I mean, we want equality, right? So she quit like a bitch. That's the truth. People are scared to say it, but she quit. How can people bet this quitter in the immediate rematch at minus 300? And honestly, if she doesn't finish early, how is she going to win? Because she gasses. Historically, she has gassed. This is not a story of one fight. I see people say, one fight. You are judging Nunes about one fight. Okay. She has always gassed. It's not a one-fight story.
Yeah.
I think Pena proved herself hindsight favorite. I just think she's a bad fight for Nunes every night of the year. The same way Prime Cat Zingano was always going to be a very bad fight for Nunes. If you can survive her onslaught early and make her work, you don't even need to grapple her dominantly. If you can make her clinch, get into body lock positions, fight hands, just keep the action rolling, she's going to gas and then quit. Like she's a very good hammer and a horrible nail. That's my take on Nunes. So yeah, Pena she's my biggest spot of the card. You can play round props on Pena 3, 4, or 5 and get an average of like plus 900. Insane bet, in my opinion. If Pena is alive after 10 minutes, she's going to murder Nunes with pace. If you put anyone through the pace, you can make any person in the world a coward if you make them tired enough. And Nunes has a disposition for that. And Pena, I feel like she's a very difficult fighter to finish. Like I could see Nunes beating her up round 1 or even round 2. But is she really going to finish Pena? I think the chances of Pena being there after 2 rounds are very high. Even if she's on bottom or taking some damage, she just needs to stay alive. I think Pena finishes this fight after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes. I think it's going to look like the first fight, but later. So yeah, if she dies in round 1, everybody's going to act like the other fight was a fluke, but there was no fluke there. That was clear as a day. This
Fair enough.
fight only goes two ways: Nunes round 1 or Pena takes her soul again. I tend to believe it's going to be the second scenario again.
Love it. You got a Lambo parlay for us? I'm trying to put one together now. I'm not in a my typical FanDuel DraftKings state, so it's going to be all.
I have not made one yet, and I cannot get out of this because I know I am on my phone, so I will get out of the stream. But yeah, I will play something like Pena round 4, 34-1, and Dober late. Pena, I think Pena round. Yeah, I was trying to do this earlier. I don't know why I didn't put this in. But Pena round 4, Dober round 3, 30 to win 13,000. That's solid. I was looking at that earlier. Yeah, you always have you need to always have some degenerate shit. If not, what's even the point of watching the card? Just put the bets in and don't watch.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm going 8 legs here. 100 to win 18.4 thousand. Juliana Pena, Brandon Moreno, over 1.5 in the Pavlovich fight. Perez money line, under 2.5 in the Dober fight. Semelsberger, Kosei, Edwards, 100 to win 18.4 thousand. Let's go ahead and lock that in. All right, and we are good to go. Any questions? Fire them in the chat. We got 173 viewers right now. Like this podcast.
173?
173.
That's a lot. I thought this episode was going to tank because last time Nunes fought, it wasn't very good. Like, nobody gives a shit about her and her shit English.
I can't believe they made this the main event. Like, she was the co-main last time, and all of a sudden now they're passing it off.
Yeah. It's going to tank because I don't think Moreno is as big as a draw the UFC thinks he is. So Steve is carrying the pay-per-view. That's the truth. Like the whole city of Auckland is going to buy this, so it gets to 300 buys, probably.
What's the highlight of your trip so far?
I don't know. I have been here for like 5 days. A dog has. I was telling Andrew before the stream. There is like a huge mastiff trying to kill me. I have done nothing to him, but there are a lot of sheep here. He has been trying to kill me for 5 nights in a row. He's behind a little fence, but this fence, Steve could go over this fence. You know, it's like a 1 meter tall fence. If he wants to maul me, it's on the card. It's on the menu. So yeah, I'm trying to not die. That's why I was opening and closing the door. This dog wants to kill me.
Yeah, that's probably the highlight. Hopefully not the highlight. When can we have the next podcast where viewers can join? Probably the next time there's a week off. When is the next week off? Probably not for a while.
There were a lot of cards in a row. I think that we are not getting a week off. Maybe last week of August? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But whenever the next time we could do that, that was fun. We'll do it again we'll do another Christmas special. Did you guys like Dana's speech on Dana White Contender Series last night? I didn't watch it. I watched the first fight. And I tuned out, but I heard it was a boring card.
You never watch it?
No, I never watch it. Unless I have a bet, I don't watch it.
Yeah, the fights were very bad. Like, not very bad, but it was like the Buzuzka fight. The guy just cannot even finish his dinner. He has a dead man there, and I was like, he's going to finish round 3, and he didn't finish. He even had a competitive round. That was insane. The other guy was done. And then there was a moron from Sweden. The Pleasure Man was his nickname. A blonde guy that looked like a fucking virgin, and he thought he was Brad Pitt, and he just was giving hugs to a Brazilian for 15 minutes. Like, that's all he did. He trapped one leg and stayed on his back for 15 minutes. And Dana was fucking upset because he had invited Lorenzo Fertitta, and he was like, oh, this is going to be the shit, probably. And then it fucking sucked. But the Ozzy Diaz versus Joe Pyfer fight was good. Like, he should have signed both, honestly. I was thinking, maybe they are going to give a contract to the Swedish guy because he can be like marketable, this moron, you know. I mean, he talks trash. He was unbeaten. But yeah, he was like, Joe Pyfer, you are in the UFC. The rest of you can fucking fuck off. Like, that was it, basically. He was hot, Dana.
Someone said, any chance Nickel doesn't get a contract? I think they're going to give him a developmental deal where they sign him, but he has to fight like a couple times before he goes into the UFC. Just because like that'd be way too soon to put him in the UFC. So they'll probably do what they did. I think they did it with like Greg Hardy, where they'll sign him, but he'll fight another 2 or 3 times before going to the UFC. I haven't even looked at his opponent, but I'm sure he'll be a
I don't
big
know who he's fighting. I haven't looked yet, but I mean, if you have the opportunity to sign Bonnie Cal, you have to sign him.
Yeah.
And the guy looks all in on MMA. Like we have already talked about this. He's a huge prospect. He's not scared of striking, which could be a problem down the line, but he has power, he's aggressive, he wants to hurt people, and Dana likes those type of fighters.
Yeah.
He looks like he has huge upside in MMA. We'll see how far he goes. Like I wouldn't go like, oh, I got Bonnie Cal for contenders. I'm going to give him this 15-0 Dagestan guy for contenders. No, I'm going to give him a guy from Taco Bell. You know?
Yeah.
Like a 5-2 guy that has beat all the people in his street or something.
Yeah.
And then Bonnie Cal can knock him out round 1, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to sign him.
Yeah.
It's all fake. But Bonnie Cal is getting into the UFC.
Someone said, what's a worse matchup for O'Malley? Piotr's pressure or Sterling's wrestling? I think probably Sterling's wrestling. I know you'll disagree with that, but I think O'Malley in the striking is probably relatively competitive with Jan. But Jan has the side, and the later the fight goes, the better for Jan.
I don't know if Sterling will get him down, honestly. He's very mobile. But yeah, if he gets him down, he's probably in trouble.
Yeah.
Sterling is a fraud. He ruined the sport. Every week there's someone trying to get a disqualification, like the Bellator guy the other day. We should call this the Aljo or the Sterling Act. It should get a name. When someone is not hurt but tries to milk a disqualification, he's doing a Sterling. It should be called like that. He ruined the sport, bro. Every week now.
If Steve wins the undisputed title, can Magic buy a Steve t-shirt and wear it on the pod? If Steve wins the undisputed title, I will personally send Magic a Steve shirt so he can wear it on the pod.
Okay, deal.
You got me guarantee. Guys, there's this guy on Twitter. There's this guy on Twitter.
It's fake.
Yeah, who puts out fake fights. Like, just block, move on. Like, stupid people do whatever on Twitter. Who do you want to see for Patty after last week?
I mean, who I want or who... I mean, you have to reformulate that question. Who I want to watch Paddy fight, who I want for betting, who I want if I want Paddy to win. You know what I mean? But the UFC is going to have to navigate some tough waters here because he's got 3 wins, 3 finishes, 3 first-round finishes, right?
Wait, do that again. Like the sun's coming right through here, or the moon. I can't tell.
I didn't do that on purpose. Bro, that's not the moon. That's like, I don't know how that's called. Farola. This is one of these shit that gives light.
Oh, I thought that was like the moon or something.
Bro, do you think that Spain is not on Earth? It's like on a satellite next to the moon?
Dude, I thought Spain was fake, honestly. I didn't even know it was a real.
How is that going to be the moon? This guy is crazy.
He clarified and said for betting.
I mean, someone that can be a realistic opponent because, yeah, I can say Rafael Fisif, but that's not going to happen. Maybe someone like Joe Solecki, but it's not going to happen. Jared Gordon would be interesting. I think Jared Gordon gets on top. Mierda. Jared Gordon gets on top and wins 2 rounds rather easily. Like,
yeah.
I like Paddy. People think I hate Paddy, but watching that I don't dislike him. I think he's a nice guy. Like, not talking about fighting. I think he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's very good at fighting. He's obviously good at fighting. He's in the UFC, but I don't think he's nowhere near to elite in his division. And he's going to lose very soon if the UFC doesn't do an all-time matchmaking work. But
I said this, and I think you might have even said this too at some point. I would give him one more fight as like the headline of a fight night card against someone he can beat.
McGregor, bro.
McGregor, yeah.
Because if he wins, he's huge, and if he loses, and whatever it happens, that fight is one of the biggest pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, it's a
like
win-win.
Ever. Like, what are you going to get from Paddy losing to Jared Gordon or to Joe Solecki or to Sam? I mean, Julian Erosa probably beats him again. He got robbed in England, but he probably beats him. He's not very good. And he's worse than I thought. Last fight against Levitt was a little bit concerning. Like, the way Levitt was dominating the grappling positions early from the body lock and the way he was dragging him down. Like he literally like he picked the guy up and dropped him like he was fucking Bate Staka, like he was Andrade, and it's Jordan Levitt that he hasn't done bench press in his life. That was a little bit concerning, bro. Yeah, I think Paddy is very good from like a couple positions. On the back, he's very good and he attacks the neck very good. He's got a good squeeze and he's good on the mount, but he needs to get to those positions. He's everywhere else he's pretty average.
Is Machete the same weight as Paddy? I think so, right?
He kills Paddy. Like the UFC doesn't want that. Majestate has the death touch. I told you, and then he killed the guy. The death touch, bro. He's learned that in the Tibet, in the mountains.
I don't know. Maybe Guida grinds Paddy out. I'm honestly not confident.
Well, that's Paddy have a guillotine. Guida probably can get on top and just work him. Like Paddy's not going to roll an Ibar like Puelles. Puelles has done it before, okay, and Guida has an uncanny ability to get submitted, but I don't know. That's a risky fight for the UFC.
Yeah.
I think Madsen grinds Paddy. Like he wins 2 rounds and survives the third, maybe. I think he grinds him bad. Like the first round will be like a man fighting a boy. Yeah, like Madsen gets on you and he's like a fucking brute. He's like a Neanderthal. His Greco is insane. Like he gets that body lock, bro. And who has that body lock in the UFC? Maybe Amirkhani? He's very strong.
We'll end it with this. Someone asked about the boxing this weekend. We'll answer that one and then we'll dip out. I'll let you get back to your vacation.
I haven't looked into it. Danny Garcia is boxing, right? At super welterweight. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's boxing David Benavidez. Not David Benavidez. Jose Benavidez? I don't know. One of the Benavidez. The one in his weight. The fight nobody wants to see is finally here. Danny Garcia at super welterweight versus Benavidez. I don't know what's the point of this fight. Garcia probably wins. I don't know. Maybe he hits super hard now at super welterweight, but I think he wins a decision or stops him late. But yeah, why bet on that? The lines are probably trash. Just bet on Pena.
Amen to that. All right. Any final words for the people?
I don't know. Good luck. I hope this ends up good because I think I took a lot of risky positions. Like one of these that is going to be like plus 100 units or reverse sweep. So yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster card probably.
Love it. Let's do it. All right, everyone. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, probably, or Thursday. We'll let you know on Twitter. But like and subscribe if you haven't already, and enjoy the fights this weekend. Peace.
Bye.